What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. This video is all about the 72 hours that I've spent with the OnePlus Open. And I want to dive right into a few photos that I took. And I want to talk about the photos that I took with the camera on here. You know, I talked about it yesterday and I showed it off a little bit yesterday. The photos that I took, those were like nighttime photos of the OnePlus with the OnePlus Open. And I didn't walk away terribly impressed. And today I took daytime photos, just a few, and I also took a moonshot. Let me talk about the moonshot first. I thought it came out pretty freaking good. And the zoom on this phone goes up to 120x. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how much you can zoom in. I'll just show you real quick in case you don't believe me. I'm gonna zoom in all the way. Am I at 120x? Yes, I am. So hopefully you can see that right there, that it says 120x. It's amazing. So 120, you get really far. I didn't even have to get that close with the moon, it did a really good job. Beyond the moonshots, just regular photos I was taking of my son. Again, I didn't walk away terribly impressed again. I still would much prefer taking photos with the Pixel Fold of people. And that kind of surprises me, especially with, again, all the marketing that OnePlus did. But without further ado, just check out a few of these photos that I took. What did you guys think of those photos? Let me know in the comments down below. But again, I didn't, well, they don't look awful, but I'm just not like terribly impressed. One thing that really does impress me about this phone, and it continues to, and like just really impresses me, it is the most buttery smooth folding phone I've ever used. It never stutters and has so much power. It's awesome. From opening up apps and going through the apps and things like that, and looking at stuff and click on someone's profile, loads up, and it's just so smooth. It's great. It's incredibly smooth. It's awesome. Really appreciate the power and how awesome they did with the animations on this. It's incredible. Did an awesome job with this. It's definitely a top feature for this phone. It's how smooth the animations are and fast the phone is. It's really in a class of its own. Even though I have this display out here, a good size display on the outside, I still generally use the inside display. And it's kind of weird to say that because on my Pixel Fold, I was like using the outside display more, but on this one, I definitely use the inside display more. And I can't even answer the question why, especially when you hear me say the next thing. Because this is a great size display. It's actually even better size than and a little bit more normal than the Pixel Fold. But yeah, I still use the inside display more than the outside display for sure. So that I know why. I remembered why. Pixel Fold, the apps weren't fully customized. This one, almost all the apps look pretty good. Full screen. I don't really have any, too many problems with any apps that aren't looking good, and I can always manually change them in the settings anyway, which is awesome. So that was cool. But when I say I use the inside display more, it's funny because having the pop socket on here, and I've kind of talked about this yesterday, but I keep adding more and more fuel to the fire. There's something about this phone, even though it feels lighter than a Z Fold 5, there's something about using this phone that just doesn't feel nice with a pop socket, and the weight of everything feels like imbalanced and not correct. Like it feels more pressure on my hand than using it with like a Z Fold 5. And I don't know, there's something about that just feels really weird. So it makes the enjoyment of using this phone for me personally not as enjoyable as using and holding the Z Fold 5. And if you have this phone and you use a pop socket or some kind of handle, maybe you'll understand what I mean by that. Battery life, I got over 6 hours of screen on time, and I got this thing to go, it was like 5% left. I got it to get into like 8 p.m. I woke up around 6:45 a.m. I was out of bed and uncharged my phone, And by 8 p.m., and I was out for long portions of the day, so it wasn't just all Wi-Fi. It was more Wi-Fi, but I was definitely out using my 5G and taking photos, and I did video calls, and I did some strenuous stuff on this, and I still was able to get to 8 p.m. I mean, I would have charged, normally I probably would have charged it before that just to be safe in case I was gonna stay out a long time, but I got pretty good freaking battery life with this. I was really impressed with that on here. That puts it in class with at times the Z Fold 5 and the Pixel Fold. They gave good battery life on all three of these phones. Also, the more I play with this phone, and coming from the Pixel Fold, the Z Fold 5, and this one, I like the inside display more on this phone than the Pixel Fold. The Pixel Fold just seems too wide and a little bit unwieldy, but I have to say that I think that, and I don't know if they're gonna change it, but I feel like the Samsung one, the inside display anyway, is, again, maybe things will change, but basically the perfect size. I mean, unless you're like really multitasking all the time and you need the extra sides on the side, which I don't always multitask, but I don't know, there's just something about this inside display, about the Z Fold 5, or Z Fold 4, you could even say, the Z Fold 3, that's just almost perfect size, especially for a folding phone. I always thought like I always want bigger and bigger and bigger. Maybe I don't. We'll see how things roll around, because I had just come from using this phone, so maybe my thoughts will change. But as of right now, I feel like this is the perfect size inside display. But otherwise, with the Z Fold, with the OnePlus Open, I probably won't do a 96-hour review at that point. I'll wait till I actually put a review, and I'll compare this to the Pixel Fold and the Z Fold 5 next. But overall, if you're still on the fence of getting it, I would say get it. It's a really, really nice folding phone. It's very impressive. Like I said yesterday, it's still not the best of the best of the best in every single category. I think that so far with what I feel, it's the smoothest experience on a folding phone. It's got the best size inside display, like in terms of like very impressive, doesn't seem weird or awkward. It also has the best size outside display. If I had to choose, I would definitely choose this outside display. Again, I still feel like Z Fold 5 inside display, the bigger one, is ergonomically better, I guess, if that makes sense. The charging speeds are amazing on this. The smoothest experience. It's got some nice things going for it. It has the best crease. I haven't mentioned that at all. The crease is absolutely amazing. I'm not bothered by it, but you barely, like, when I hold it, when I'm twisting and turning it like this, you barely notice or feel it at all. It's really, really impressive. So it'll be another thing that if it bothered you. Also, it does have stylus/pen support if you end up picking one up from the Oppo side. And I think you can probably buy one on eBay if you need to buy one. So yeah, those are my thoughts so far. I will compare this phone probably next week probably Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll compare this against the Fold 5 and the Pixel Fold. So those are my thoughts. If you want to pick it up, it's linked down below. If you do buy it, it helps support what I do. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. We'll see you down the road. Peace.